like a glove, flat as a board, baby. Ooh, that fucking hot.
Good morning, folks. It is Saturday morning. We are at IMS Industrial Supply here at Riverside, California. We are going to be working on a Sissy Bar for my 2022 Harley-Davidson Lowrider ST. We have Kernville campout coming up. I went last year with the bike, and one thing that a lot of people have complained about, and it was an issue for me too, there's really not a lot of storage on the bike, even with the bags. So I'm going to be building myself a Sissy Bar that's going to be kind of modular so that I can swap it out for something tall and something short depending on what I'm doing. If you could do me a favor, go down below, hit the button, like, subscribe, follow along. Really stoked to just keep going with this with you guys, so enjoy. So yeah, whenever I go like trying to get material, at least for a specific project, the first thing I do is go to the remnant section here, especially at IMS, because it's a little bit cheaper, and usually, unless it's some kind of like crazy cut or like kind of a non-common thickness, you can usually find something out here. So actually, this is basically what I'm looking for. Some of the factory Sissy Bar setups, they'll have the two brackets on the side with the tubing coming up, and then it's kind of modular, so you can have like a couple different style actual Sissy Bars. You can put a tall one on there for when I'm camping, and then a shorter one for when I got my girl on the back or whatever. So that's kind of the goal here. I need to find a piece of material that's going to sit inside of here, so that's what we're digging for right now. So far, we are striking out. Probably should have brought my calipers. That probably would have been a better idea instead of just eyeballing shit, but you know, that would have been way too smart. Jesus Christ. It probably with a little, yeah, it fits. A little bit of sanding will make it smooth. So I think this is what we'll use. And like I said, I'm going to make a couple different bars. I'm going to get a pretty nice long piece of this square stock. And then all I need to do is get material for the side plates, and we are good to go. Alrighty, so we got all the material we need for our little Sissy Bar project. I'm going to be using 1/8" plate. It's not too thick, not too thin, not too heavy, but strong shit. It's gonna be great for those side plates on the Sissy Bar. For the receptacle, we've got some, I don't even know what size it is. It's just some square tubing that's basically gonna get welded onto the side. We're gonna put a couple holes in it, and then we're gonna bend up a couple different Sissy Bars with this 1/2" bar stock, and that's pretty much gonna be it. So it's a relatively simple project you can probably do at home. I'm going to be able to build this thing for like, I don't know, I'd have to look at the receipt, but not even 50 bucks worth of material. Obviously, you need tools that are a little bit more than 50 bucks, but, you know, a good weekend with a torch and a grinder, you can make yourself a pretty decent Sissy Bar for your bike. And we back, baby. Back in the shop. We picked up material. If you've seen in previous videos, this is my 2022 Harley-Davidson Lowrider ST. First step we're going to do is pop the bags off, because frankly they're in the way. So they're really simple to take off as long as you have the bag unlocked, just like that. Luckily for me, I've actually built a Sissy Bar for a Softail before, and I kept the template. I made a little bit of a different design for my buddy RJ, so that gives us the hole spacing. But just to verify, we can kind of see that that's how it's going to fit. Now the idea behind this one was that you could loosen up the bolts that hold this strut to the fender, slide this in between, boom, and then bolt it down. So I think I'm going to make them the same way. I'm probably going to make this a little bit fatter, but this is a this is a good starting point for us. So if you don't already have a template, it's pretty easy to just get yourself a piece of paper, measure out the hole spacing, and kind of figure out the design that you want. So next thing I'm going to do is transfer my template over to my material. As you can see, I'm very precise. So next thing we're going to do is start cutting. So now we've got kind of our rough shape. Obviously that was probably painful to watch for people that actually do metal work for a living. This would have been a lot easier if I had a bandsaw, but I don't. So that's what we're doing. Next thing I'm going to do is clamp this guy in here and get it cleaned up a little bit. So I'm going to kind of contour these edges, contour this edge, and then I'll pop some holes in there. And that'll get us done with at least one side. We'll pop this bolt out real quick just to verify the diameter. So on these bikes specifically, they give you a template to make your hole spacing. So bada boom, bada bing. Cool. The diameter of this slot has to be as big as these. So 499, we're going to call that 498. We're going to call that a 1/2 inch hole. So we're going to put 2 1/2 inch holes in this thing and then slot them out. We're going to use a smaller drill bit to kind of give it a pilot hole. That'll make all of our lives a little bit easier here. Probably should be wearing safety glasses for that, but can't see shit anyways.
Oh yeah, baby. Good stuff.
You know that hole's precise. Nice little deburring. The key with these multi-flute deburr bits is high pressure and low speed. So we're just going to take this piece over to the bike. Eyeball it. Them holes look decent, but we'll know for sure. Like a glove. That's perfect. That's actually better a fit than I thought it was going to be. So, cool. So we're going to try to kind of match these angles because I know that it fit really well on the last bike. There's got to be people just like fucking fuming at how much of a caveman I'm being today. I really need a bandsaw. I need a lot of things, but bandsaw would be cool. So here's a kind of finished, kind of rough version of what we're doing. Obviously, I kind of blend this contour and shit, but what I'm going to do is double check that this looks good, that this angle looks good on the bike. I know that these are going to fit because this is the mounting hardware for the fender. So the idea is, like, this is on the inside of your fender, right? So you would take your Sissy Bar, put it in between the fender and the strut, and then it's pretty locked in. Now when you want to take it out, you just loosen up the back one, loosen up the front one, swing it forward, and pull it out. This makes it so that you don't have to, like, pull your hardware all the way out if you ever wanted to take the Sissy Bar off. But it's not just straight slots where it can just slide out. Like, you have to actually lean this thing forward to be able to get it out. Next thing I'm going to do is give her a little masking tape paint job and slide it in between the fender and the strut. Once I'm done actually fabricating all this stuff, I'm going to end up probably getting it powder coated, at least the bottom brackets, because these are pretty much going to stay on the bike. I don't plan on changing this once I get it set up, but I'll be able to change the actual bar that comes up top, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So the idea here, this guy goes up into the fender. To get this on, obviously you're gonna have to loosen some stuff up. So on the soft tails, the only thing supporting is you have this strut that comes up, holds the fender. There's actually a bolt on the inside that we loosened up. We didn't take it all the way out, but we loosened it up, and that gives us more play on this guy and opens up more space for our Sissy Bar bracket. So we're gonna slide that guy in there. Boom and boom. So that puts us right where we need to be as far as hardware goes. And what's nice about these is that little bracket that I showed you fits into the strut. So as long as it's poking through, you're good. That thing is, I mean, it can come up this way, but it's pretty stout. So to put it back together, all you would do is you got a bolt on the inside of the fender, these two, and these two, and you're good to go. So if I ever wanted to take this bracket off, I just got to loosen these bolts. I don't got to take them all the way out. Right. The bracket fits. I like the angle that I have it set at. The only thing I kind of wish I could have done differently, and I might do still, I don't know, is I probably should have made this a little bit taller to give me more meat to weld that kind of receiver on there. But yeah, other than that, I think it's pretty dope. In fact, what I might do, since it's a prototype, I might just weld another piece of plate onto it, sand it down, make it look smooth, and then cut out the other one the correct way. Actually, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to add to about there. As you can see, I'm really being precise with my measurements here. That's a little bit longer than I think I'm going to use, but I can always cut the end off of it. So I'm going to cut this out and then weld it onto that, sand it all smooth, and only you guys are going to know. That dude, fucking flat as a board, baby. I'll clean up these welds. You won't even know this thing's welded. And then what'll be nice too, I'm not really too worried about the strength of it because I'm gonna have a piece of that square stock going from here to here, and that'll tie it together anyway. So we'll just sneak by just like that. we'll be good to go. So we've got our extension welded on there. I think that's going to make it long enough to where I'm going to feel comfortable to be putting the receiver bracket on there. And then we took that piece and traced out the matching side. So what we'll do is I'll get this cut out rough, drill the holes, and then I'll actually bolt them together and sand them together so they match perfectly. And that'll be it for the side plates. And then we'll cut up some chunks for the receiver, and then we'll bust out the torch and start bending up Sissy Bars. So we've got our second one roughed in. We've got it bolted up. We drilled holes and we bolted it to the old one. So that's going to give us kind of a working template. As we grind it, we're kind of blend these so that they match. Obviously I welded this piece to this piece, but this back one is one single piece. And if you could do me a favor, if you like what you're watching, go down and hit that button on the bottom, subscribe, give me a like, talk shit to me in the comments. Enjoy. All right, so we've got our two side plates done. They are matched by hand. I mean, they're not perfect, but they are pretty much the same. So the next thing I'm gonna do is tape these sides off so they don't scratch the paint. And we're gonna put them on the bike, and then I'm gonna figure out the distance of how long I can make the receiver. And then we'll get to welding. So now, what we're gonna do, figure out how long each one of these pieces is gonna be. And we're gonna mark, and that is roughly the length. And I'll probably put a little roundy guy on there too, just to be safe. So I'm gonna cut a couple chunks out of this, double check it again, and then we're gonna pop those side plates off and weld on our receivers. Ooh, that puff is hot. Cool. We've got the side plates done, my fucking gorgeous welds. So yeah, they're both done. They both got the receptacles. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slap some felt on the inside of these things just so I don't scratch up my paint. And then we're gonna start bending up Sissy Bars. If you remember, if you go back, I'm gonna be doing kind of the same thing I did with Josh's bike when I bent up a Sissy Bar for his, but this is gonna be out of square stock, so it's gonna be a little bit different. I got this felt paper on the old Scamazon. Oh, my address is on there. It's like $8 for this whole pack. Keeps you from rubbing paint directly on the metal. Obviously, I'm gonna peel this stuff back off before I paint it, but just for now mounting it, I'm gonna get these plates mounted on, and then we're gonna bend up that bar to fit these plates. So go like this video, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. I really appreciate it. That, I don't even know what that is. Got it. Oh, not bad, not bad, not bad. Not too shabby. No, it's for this one. Works perfect for this one because these are on the inside. Yeah, okay. Jeez, drink some coffee, idiot. Glue that guy on there. Like I said, doesn't have to be perfect. It's just kind of a scratch deterrent. Yeah, I'm getting really excited, man. We're coming down to the wire. We only got a couple weeks left till Kernville, which is going to be awesome. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do some kind of filming with that. I don't know if I'll do some YouTube shorts or something, but if you want to follow along with that, I'll definitely be posting more on my social media. So if you want to, go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's Yeti Machine Co. One word, just how it sounds. This razor blade is not working worth a damn. So this one, for whatever reason, is sitting a little bit taller. Not too worried about that right this second because I can trim all that stuff up. I ended up having to put a little bevel here to keep it off the fender. The idea is I'm going to make the Sissy Bar come up, have a bend in it, and then come straight up. Probably for the tall one that I need for the camping trip, I'm probably going to make it about this tall, which people will be like, oh my god, you know, that's a chopper Sissy Bar. Well, it works. The tall Sissy Bars are nice for camping and strapping your stuff to. So trying to cuss less because it's better for the old YouTube, but I'm sure you're gonna hear some cussing on this one. Where is my fucking tape measure? Right, so we're gonna start at the bottom of this thing. I think 2 feet is probably good. That puts us like right about there, 8 inches end to end. So that's 8.5, 2 feet, 4 feet. So I'm gonna cut 6 feet of bar. That's gonna give me extra for sure, and it's a little bit wasteful. But you know, if I had something that was like a Sissy Bar jig, it would be a lot easier to get tighter dimensions and have less material waste. But because I'm kind of bending this one up by hand, I want to make sure that I have extra material to be able to move stuff around. So what we got is some half-inch square stock. It's not going to actually fit just like this in those receiver holes. I'm going to end up having to grind this down a little bit, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, this is kind of a one-off thing, and it's for me. So if it's a little bit imperfect, I don't really care. It's mine. I'm so ghetto. One day I'll get a bandsaw, but today's not that day. I'll use a vise and a cutoff wheel like an 80. It's about 6 feet right there. I'll probably use that little piece to make my my smaller Sissy Bar. Okay, so now we've got a piece of material that's about 6 feet long. So I'm going to measure it at its halfway point, and that's how I'm going to start bending this. That's about 6 feet. Right about 3 right there. So I'm really just eyeballing this thing the whole way through, which should be interesting. So next thing we're going to do is get to torching. So the Sissy Bar look I'm kind of going for is what comes on some of these FXRs. At least this style, it's going to have a little bit of a bend on the top, come down, and then kick out to those mounts. Obviously mine's going to be much, much taller, but that's kind of going to be what we're looking for style-wise. All right, so we've got our first bend. Like I said, this is just the gonna be the top. If you can see that, the top of the peak of the Sissy Bar, and then we're gonna go here and here with the next two. So I'm gonna let this thing cool off a little bit, and then we'll bring it over to the bike and finish up the last 2 bends. So I'll probably start the outside bend like right about there-ish. Like I said, I'm just kind of eyeballing this. I'm not really measuring anything. I will do some measuring when I go to bend the second parts of this little loop here. For now, I'm gonna get started with this one. Not bad. Not too damn bad. All right, now we have to let that, we actually have to let that one cool down. So the next 2 bends I'm gonna do are gonna be like right here, and that's just to come out. And then we're gonna get it to our width for the Sissy Bar brackets, and then we'll trim it up and we should be good to go as far as bending goes. And then it's just a few holes drilled and the basics of our Sissy Bar are gonna be done. Next step is gonna be getting these offsets, which is going to be fun. So I know that center to center, there to there, about 8 5/8 ish. So what we're going to do now, bend our offsets. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Definitely going to trim this down. I'm probably going to trim down the side panels too, because they're a little tall, but we'll see. I'm going to cut these off first. Yeah, I'm going to let that go down some more. Keep fucking with it when it's hot. I know that I always say that patience is important, but I'm not very patient. I keep setting this thing down like I'm gonna let it cool off, and then I grab it and start working on it, burn my hand, and then say I'm gonna let it cool off and grab it. Just take your time, be patient, don't be like me. Cool. A little bit more massaging and she'll fit right in. I just kind of wanted to show you guys for, you know, I think I spent $30 total on materials and I have some left over. I made a pretty decent Sissy Bar. The world is kind of your oyster when it comes to these things. You can bend, as long as you got a torch and a welder, kind of make whatever you want. So get out there and make something. If you like the content, do me a favor, go subscribe, like this video. For more up-to-date stuff, go follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Yeti Machine Co. If you want to support, get a shirt like this one, go to my website, www.yetimachineko.com. Thanks, guys.